Music brought to you by bensound.com. Welcome to Knicks Home Court with your host. My name is Greg Armstrong. This is Knicks Home Court, episode number 24, the Thanksgiving edition. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Eat, chill, eat some more, have some drinks. Be thankful for your family and everything you've gotten in your life. Just take time to reflect on those things. And while you do that, when you get some time, listen to this podcast because I'm about to reflect on the Knicks. All right, we're going to jump right into it. First, I want to talk about the game, the Portland game, the Knicks against Portland. And just jumping right in there. And then the topic we're going to talk about is the Knicks' upcoming games, the next 7 games, what could possibly happen during that time. All right, so we're going to just jump right into the Portland game. Now, the Portland game, I thought the Knicks played very good defense. Damian Lillard didn't go off like I thought I said he could go for 50 because he's that kind of player. He's a shooting guard in the point guard's body. But then they have a shooting guard who's also a very good shooting guard, who also didn't have a great game. Courtney Lee did a good job against C.J. McCollum. Held him to 16 points on 6 of 17 shooting. Damian Lillard had 22 points on 8 of 18 shooting. I thought the Knicks played very good defense. At the end of the first half, the leading scorer of the game was Ed Davis with 14. It was annoying watching him get the putbacks, but when I saw him as a leading scorer, I said this is a good position that the Knicks are in. If Ed Davis, because Ed Davis is not going for 30. And the funny thing is, I said to myself, when Ed Davis had 14 at the end of the half, I kind of thought to myself, I didn't say to myself, but I thought to myself, he's not scoring anymore. And you know what? I didn't pay any mind until after the game, I looked up and he had 14 points. You see, the Knicks made a concerted effort to say, you know what? The other guys got to beat us. We're going to double team Lillard on the pick and rolls. We're going to double team McCollum every chance we get. And other guys are going to have to beat us tonight. And that was a good strategy because Portland is not like they have that third guy. They have guys who can chip in and score, but they don't have that third guy. And I think a lot of teams are doing that to them. Plus, they don't really have a good defense. And it's so funny. Speaking of Damian Lillard, no disrespect. I think he's a very good player. But they anoint these players so early, and everybody knows Damian Lillard doesn't play good defense. But nobody says anything about that. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. So, Kristaps went for 31 points. Now, I have a bone to pick with the media and just Knicks fans in general. Because after this victory, I saw a lot of Melo versus Porzingis stuff. And I'm just going to say this. Guys, Knicks fans, because I don't care about the media, but Knicks fans, stop it. Enjoy the win. Learn how to win without being losers. Kristaps is a very good player, becoming a star. But let me just explain in my perspective what I believe a star is, okay? A star is not a player who does it for 3 games or does it for a few games. That's why I've always disagreed with people when they said Anthony Davis is top 3 player in the league. I'm like, okay, I can't say that yet. Now, maybe they should say instead of top 3 players, say it's top 3 talent, then maybe I can agree with that. He has talent, but he's not a top 3 player. Talent and being a top 3 player is 2 different things. Karl Anthony Towns is special. Yes, he's special, but he's not a great player yet. These teams, DeMarcus Cousins had put up numbers better than these guys every year. And he's barely a star because his team sucks, even though you have to put good players around anyone. So I take it from Dr. J. And I think I said this in past podcasts. Dr. J, they asked him about what a star is. And he said, listen, man, you got to do it for 5, 6, 7 years in this league. Unless you have a star like Jordan. Jordan started out with 32, 37, 36, 34. You know, like, you start off averaging that, then you're a star right away. You know, but still, you got to wait. Because what happens is the league adjusts to you. So all of those people saying that Porzingis should be the number one option, y'all don't understand what Porzingis being the third or second option, he has better and easier opportunities. Melo is still the guy that gets double teamed. You see, because Melo has multiple go-to moves that are really unstoppable with one man. Melo has proved throughout his career, one man cannot stop him. Period. If it's one-on-one, it's a disadvantage when Melo has the ball. Porzingis is getting there, but he's not there yet. He doesn't have a signature move. He doesn't have like a Dirk move. He doesn't have that. He's a very good player, and he does well playing off of Melo, and at times playing off of Rose, and at times playing off of Jennings. But to be the man, that means everyone has to play off of him. And I don't know if he's ready for that yet. Don't be fooled by these games. It's like, I've seen it happen time and time again in the NBA where a player does well within a system or with other players. For example, you don't think Steph Curry makes Klay Thompson better, and KD doesn't make Steph Curry better, and Draymond Green doesn't make, like, the more good players you have on your team, the more you make other players better. You create more opportunities for other people. So right now, Melo still draws that double team. Right now, when Derrick Rose penetrates and Kristaps pops out for the three, he created that. When Kristaps goes and tries to make his move against the power forward, they're still not double teaming him. Pay attention. They're still not double teaming him yet, so he can go off. When he starts getting double teamed on a regular and still scoring, then you can probably talk to me. I believe he's coming though. I'm happy with Porzingis. This is not Porzingis against Melo. People need to stop that. Okay? Melo didn't have a good shooting game, but he still drew attention. He still draws that attention. He made a couple of key plays at the end with a nice tip out on a rebound. He played some tough D. You know, I mean, it's a team, guys. The Knicks are becoming a team. Stop saying who should take the last shot. Then I'm hearing on the radio, they're talking about, well, he should be the alpha and alpha. Oh, God, the media just is literally steeped in stupidity. It's just really crazy. So let me ask you, since Kristaps had a couple of 31 and a 35 night, even though when Melo had a 31 night, it's like, okay, that's Melo just being Melo. That's when you were a great player. That's when you know you were a star. That's when you know you were a great player. When you can score 31 and they say, oh, that's just him being him. They're not saying about it, Kristaps. They're going crazy because he hasn't really done that. But let's just say, based on what they're saying, so is Cleveland Kyrie's team? Because Kyrie, a lot of nights, outscores LeBron. Is that Kyrie's team? It just sounds stupid. So, what I'm saying, fans, learn how to just enjoy the victories as they come. When they lose, of course you should be mad about whatever, if they've done stupid things, a lot of turnovers, didn't play D. But when they play well as a unit, you know, and then I'm hearing, when they play well as a unit, be happy. But then I'm hearing also people mentioning trade. Again, I'm talking about this again because I'm a broken record on this situation. You're not trading Melo. Melo takes pressure off of Porzingis. Porzingis knows this. That's why the props always go back to Melo. He understands the game. But anyway, you know who else? We got some players that really, if they develop, it looks like there could be a nice nucleus for the future that nobody's talking about. And that's Kuzminskis, who is a deadly three-point shooter and got stones, as they would say. And Hernan Gomez looks like he's nice around the basket. I mean, he has a soft touch around the basket. And those guys are young. I mean, Kuzminskis is 26, but he's young. He's still young. And he reminds me a little bit of, he doesn't play like him. What I'm saying is, remember when the Spurs got Manu Ginobili, he was 25 years old. And that's the comparison, what I'm saying as far as Kuzminskis. I'm not saying he's the same player. I'm saying that they got him as a grown man. He's played in the Spanish league. He has talent. It's undeniable. He can shoot from three. He's not afraid. And maybe not this year, maybe in the second half of the year, but definitely next year, I think he can establish himself as a small forward off the bench. He's actually doing it now, and which bodes well for us when Lance Thomas comes back. That might mean that we have an extra wing player. That means that Lance Thomas can play the 4, which he can really guard the 4, and he can also play the 3. That just makes the defense much stronger. And Hernan Gomez looking like he's going to be a stud player. When I say stud, I don't mean like a perennial all-star. I just mean like a very good cog, like a Marcin Gortat. Where Gortat's not a star, but he's a solid cog. And it looks like Hernan Gomez might be that. So you got to give Phil his credit for that. And Hernan Gomez played a very good game. He played a good game. Kuzminskis had hit 2 big-time 3-pointers. The Knicks they have a team. They have a team and they have a coach. I'm very excited. So what else happened during this game? I did see the Derrick Rose at the end of the game. I've never seen a player do this. During the interview, Derrick Rose he started clapping for the crowd. And that was really a cool moment. I actually looked at it about 3 or 4 times. That was a cool moment. That was an off-the-cuff, ad-libbing moment, like a freestyling moment. He just said, you know what? Give it up to the crowd. And the Knicks are really developing a real home court. This is a team you could possibly love. But again, looking forward to the future. I don't want to throw cold water on it. I don't know how much Derrick Rose is going to want in his contract. But right now, so far this season, the player he's shown us to be, $10 million at max. He's going to want more than that, so he's going to have to step it up. He's going to have to, by the end of the year, if he's averaging 18 and 10, then maybe he'll be worth that money. If he's completely changed his game by then, maybe he'll be worth that money. But anyway, that's enough about that game. That was a couple of days ago now, so, I just want to get into the Knicks' next 7 games. And the Knicks are now at 500. They're actually the 7th seed, believe it or not. And if you look at the conference, nobody scares me but Cleveland. Toronto's a very, 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 very good team. They don't really scare me, but they're a very good team. But again, I just can't ignore when I look at the Knicks, I see all this talent. And if they put it together, I mean, really. Anyway, let me just tell you the next 7 games. Charlotte at home, Charlotte away, OKC at home, Minnesota away, Minnesota at home, Sacramento at home, Miami away. Now that's the next 7 games, and then after that they play Cleveland at home. So what can happen? They can win all 7 games. Will they win all 7 games? I don't know. But they can win all 7. And you can say I'm bugging, but listen, I choose to be optimistic. You can be pessimistic all you want. I mean, I know when I look at the schedule, sometimes the Knicks is a funny team. They'll mess around and lose to Sacramento and beat Cleveland. That's just the kind of team the Knicks have been in the past, and I don't want to see that team anymore. You see, I want to see a team that looks at other teams and say, we're better than this team, and we're going to play up to our capabilities. We're going to play strong defense every game. And we're going to beat the teams, especially the teams we're supposed to beat. So when I look at Charlotte, I'm not impressed by Charlotte. If you look at their early schedule, they have had a lot of these teams. Knicks have had one of the hardest schedules to start the season. And if you look at Charlotte, they haven't had one of those hard schedules. And when I look at talent, now don't get me wrong, talent without hard work means nothing. Less talented teams can beat you if you don't work hard. And I think that a lot of times, Charlotte will outwork you. They have a nice head coach there. Kimber is becoming a star right now. They got a lot of good things going on. They got Nicholas Batum. He's a good player. They have Kid Gilchrist is back playing good D, who's probably going to be matched up against Melo. So they have a good team. But honestly, I think the Knicks should beat them. Now, home and home is very difficult to do. It's very difficult to beat a team back-to-back like that. It's difficult, especially when they're back-to-back. But I think the Knicks can do it. I'm not going to predict anything. I'm just talking about what they can do. You got to beat teams you should beat. So I'm going to go through the teams, and then maybe I'll say I'll try to be a little more, let's see, I will allow for some Knicks losses if that's possible. Like I said, I'm hoping for them to, look, if you're a prideful team, if the Knicks believe, like I heard a podcast and the guy made a good point. He said, listen, if the Knicks believe they one of the upper echelon teams, they're going to have to start proving it. So this 7-game stretch, they should be saying, we going 7-0. That's what good teams do. We going 7-0. We not counting any losses. We taking game by game, and we trying to win every single one. That's why when I look at these schedules, nobody on these next 7 games scare me. Charlotte's probably the best team they're going to play on this 7 games. Now, this is what I'll say about Charlotte. Again, the Knicks should not allow themselves to be outworked. If they let themselves be outworked, they're going to lose to Charlotte. But if they outwork Charlotte or work as hard as Charlotte, they have more talent. Simple as that. OKC, a team that's overrated, that they're going to struggle to make the playoffs. I mean, see, folks, this is what happens when you have a great player, as in Russell Westbrook. See, I always talking about trade Melo. If you trade Melo, you're going to have Kristaps Porzingis, but you're going to struggle because in the NBA you need multiple really good players to win. That's why OKC, no matter how great he plays, they're going to lose a lot of games. They're going to be struggling to make the playoffs. Hopefully they do. Then you got Minnesota, and by the way, that OKC game is at home. Now, again, you don't know what the thing is with OKC is. Oladipo is the key to that team, because you know what Russell Westbrook's going to give you. He's going to give you near a triple-double. He's averaging almost a triple-double. So you know what he's going to give you. It's the other guy. What is the other guy going to do? Because if he goes off for 30, the Knicks lose this game. The Knicks should win this game. I think the Knicks are a better team. Minnesota, home and away, or away and home. Another game where I feel like the Knicks should win both of those games. The Knicks are a better team. It's good to see Karl Anthony Towns. I'm looking forward to it. But the Knicks are a better team than this team. And Knicks get no love, but it doesn't matter. Knicks are a better team than this team. Now, very quickly, I'll run through Sacramento and Miami. Again, 2 games that they have talent. Now, Sacramento has talent. You better come to play. But again, these are games that Knicks should win. Is there anything in this schedule where am I delusional? I'm saying, I'm looking at these teams. Am I delusional? 4 of the next 7 games against Minnesota and Charlotte. So I'm not delusional thinking they can win these next 7 games. That's not delusional to me. This is right around the time where teams begin to separate themselves and establish who they really are as a team. And I think it's time for the Knicks to do that. If they're serious, if they're going to reach them 50 games, like I think they will, they'll start now. 6-1, 7-0 in the next 7 games, 5-2 maybe. Because you got to understand, that Cleveland game looms large. But if they can win, like let's just, for argument's sake, say they win the next 7 and then they lose at Cleveland. You know who they have after Cleveland? Sacramento, LA Lakers, Phoenix the next 3. They could actually go 10-1 in their next 11 games. Possibly. Of course, people say, oh, you're dreaming, that's never happened. Maybe it won't happen. And if it don't happen, hey, I didn't lose any money. I ain't placed a bet. But to say it can't happen, what are you basing that on? What would you be basing that on? The Knicks can't win 10 out of their next 11 games. What would you be basing that on? You can't be basing it on their recent play because recently they've played well. You can't base it on their talent because they have the talent to do it. So, if they don't do it, I mean, look, I'm looking at the schedule. I see potential losses. Like, I could see them beating Charlotte tomorrow. I could see them losing to Charlotte the very next day. I could see them beating OKC. I could see them beating Minnesota 1 out of 2. It's hard, very hard in the NBA to beat a team 2 straight on a home and away thing. I could see 2 losses there. But again, I want to see that professional pride. I want to see Derrick Rose, Carmelo Anthony, Joakim Noah, Kristaps Porzingis, Courtney Lee. Or I'm going to take Kristaps out of that. I'm talking about players who are used to winning. Courtney Lee's used to winning. Derrick Rose is used to winning. Joakim Noah is used to winning. Yeah, Melo has lost recently, but he's used to winning. Those guys need to step up and say, listen, we're going to go on a run right now. We about to separate ourselves from the pack. The Knicks win the next 7 games. They're the 2nd seed, no doubt about it, right now. Depending on what Cleveland do, they might be the 1st seed. It should be a showdown. By the time they go to meet Cleveland at home, it should be a showdown. 1 versus 2. And that's all I got to say on the matter. And that brings us to the end of this podcast tonight. I wanted to give you a special edition of Knicks Home Court. Now I smell the food and the sweet potato pie and everything. I got to dig in. Everybody else dig in. Enjoy the rest of your day. And as I always say, you can find the Knicks Home Court on iTunes under Life Culture Sports. You can go to the website, Life Culture Sports /Knicks Home Court. You can visit YouTube under Knicks Home Court. Or you can go to SoundCloud under Life Culture Sports. Which, good news, I will be changing that. The podcast is going to completely become Knicks Home Court, so it'll be easy to find. You don't have to look at Life Culture Sports. You could just dial in Knicks Home Court. I will let you know. I said dial in, right? I'm showing my age. But anyway, everybody enjoy their food. Don't eat too much. Make sure you keep a bottle of Pepto-Bismol close. Make sure you don't run out of toilet paper. I'm bugging out. Everybody have a good one. Happy Thanksgiving once again. And I'll speak to y'all on the other side. Peace.